Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my humble home in Livingston, Montana. Okay, I've got the 16th of February of 2021. Good, I'm glad I didn't goof that up. Hang on here for a second while I knock the hair out of my throat. It's like going to the dentist to get your hair brushed. I tried, you know what I mean? Don't get nervous, whatever you do. Okay. I have got a very morbid subject here, what I consider a morbid subject, a stupid subject, something I really shouldn't even be talking about, but I decided to, make a video on this just because it in my mind, it is something that really needs to be addressed or make people aware of or whatever have you. I doubt I'm doing any good for anybody with this subject. But very seldom do I ever talk about religion or related subjects like that on my channel. But today, that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm really not going to talk about religion per se as the normal person understands it. I'm going to be talking more about cults and garbage like that, So if you're not into that kind of stuff, I suggest you click this video off and go waste your time somewhere else. But anyway, the wife and I were sitting around talking about this the other day, and I thought, this might make an interesting subject for a YouTube video, even though I know I'm more than likely wasting my time, but let's get on with this. What I want to talk to you folks about for a few minutes is these fake, what do they call them, prosperity preachers. And without even scouring the internet or doing much research, I personally I put them down on this little tablet right here. I named off 11 of them without, doing hardly any research at all. And these 11 criminals, because that's exactly what they are, and I'm talking about supposed preachers and religious leaders, which these people are none of the above. But the names I come up with real quick, like for an example, there's more than this. Lots more than these 11 that I'm going to mention here. But we got Jim Bakker, Joel Osteen, Pat Robertson, Kenneth Copeland, Joyce Meyer, Jesse Duplantis, Cephalo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, Reverend Al Sharpton, and Benny Hinn, and this gal by the name of Paula White. Now, I'm sitting here to tell you that these people are... There's a place in hell for these sons of bitches. Okay, let me just put it to you that way. Now, the reason why I could say stuff like this is because I was raised by a Christian mother, and anybody that's followed my channel has heard me say little snippets of, Jesus this and God that and whatever have you. Because my mom, believe you me, you didn't want to get your signals all mixed up when it came to Christianity, or she had a unique way of straightening you out. Now, I went to just country bumpkin churches when I was a kid. Assembly of God, Nazarene Church, stuff like that. And most people were dirt poor, they didn't have much. But when they prayed and when they did their religious stuff, they did it in earnest. Did you hear me? There was none of this crap that goes on with these multi-million-dollar preachers, these prosperity preachers. Let me get on with this so you kind of know what I'm talking about. And every one of these people, if you're even remotely tempted to go to their churches or give these people money, guess what? You're a damn fool. You are a damn fool. Now you take like this Jim Bakker son of a bitch. That fool there, I guess 5 years in the federal pen for doping little old ladies out of their Social Security checks and stuff like that wasn't good enough. This worm had to resurface again and start contaminating the rest of the world. I know I've got a few relatives that just, that they worship the ground that this lion devil walks on. I didn't even know this sucker was around because the first time he's like a chameleon. He doesn't even look like he did way back in the day when he was all tangled up with that Tammy Faye Baker. Some of you might remember this and some of you might not. But he ended up doing 5 years in federal pen. It didn't teach him nothing because he's right back to preaching his form of gospel and lying and every other thing. Man, this guy here. And then this Joel Osteen. Man, of course, he makes a lot of money off of his books and his writings and different things like that. I know they claim he doesn't take any money from that Lakewood church down there in Texas. By the way, they're probably getting a little bit of the Montana weather about now that we suffer with every year. I've seen it splashed all over the news where was it? Houston, Texas is almost at a standstill because of cold weather. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not trying to be mean here, but welcome to the club, But anyway, this Joel Osteen, this guy here, he's so far off with his understanding of the scriptures that it's not even funny. And same with that fruity tooty wife of his, that Victoria. I've never seen a preacher in my life like Osteen now stand there with his eyes like this, half closed, and going, "You are great. You are wonderful. You are strong. I am this. I am that. I am rich," even though that's more than likely a lie because Joel Osteen's taking all your money. That's a little worm. Man, he's got his own man-made religion, so to speak. He really does. A lot of these people I'm going to be talking about for a few minutes, they just take biblical scriptures and twist them around to fit themselves. I'd like to slap them right upside the mush. Because there are people out here in this world that are really seriously hurting. They really seriously need a touch of God. And I don't mean to be preaching here and all that, but when you got fools like this running around, what it does is it ruins Christianity. And what they're doing is they're taking advantage of poor people, people that don't have a lot, people that are sick, and different things like this. I hope the bastards are proud of themselves. Man, and Joel Osteen is one of them. He stands up there. You are powerful. You are strong. You are a god. He's got that kind of a gig going. He needs to have his mush slapped one good time. And I'd like to be the guy to do it. Then you got that Pat Robertson. Holy crap. This guy at one time I thought was, halfway squared around. The guy looked, man, he looks like he belongs in an old folks home by now. This guy here, at least when he preaches, he doesn't scream and jump up and down and carry on a bunch of stuff like some of these are on my list. Believe you me. But I still don't like him. He's after your money, he lies, he twists scriptures around and all this kind of stuff. 700 Club. Yeah, Yeah, I'm going to join the 700 Club and all my problems are going to go away. Stop lying there, Pat Robertson. Son of a bitch. And then that Kenneth Copeland. This guy here that's on this list here, I probably dislike him the very most of any one of these disciples of Satan, if you will. Kenneth Copeland lives down there somewhere in Texas. Got like a $10 million home, a $60 million jet, all kinds of money and everything. This guy right here, I spent, the reason why I'm even doing this video is I spent about a year off and on, folks, not chronic or any, not binge watching, but taking a look at each one of these preachers or whatever, or televangelists or whatever they think they are, and taking a look at them and watching their preaching style and listening to what they're saying and everything. But out of all these people, like Kenneth Copeland, he is out of his mind. Standing up there just at the pulpit just screaming, and that look that he's got in his eye. I'd like to smack him right upside. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to take about 16 foot of good Montana rope. You understand what that is? Half inch will do her. I know. And I'd like to make a nice hangsman's noose, and I know how to make them too. And just stretch him right on up there, right up to his tiptoes, right so he's real close to Jesus. And then ask him to start repeating all the garbage that he's been spewing out over all these years, stealing people's money and all that, and acting, talking clear out of his mind. This guy, this little sawed-off, square-jawed, squared-headed, I just like to slap that grin right off his face, because this man is evil. Evil. Simple as that. And if you're buying into his church and buying into his man-made religion, you're a damn fool. That's what I do know. These people no more know the gospel of Jesus Christ than the man in the moon. I can say this with all the authority in the world. Kenneth Copeland, man, that dude there, I'd like to tack his hide right to a barn. If there's anybody on the face of this man, and I'm pushing almost 70 years old, I would like to have a boxing match with this fool. And they can even tie one hand behind my back. Right here in Livingston, Montana, right down at the Civic Center. Free for the whole world to see. Well, I'd show him Jesus all right in a real quick hurry. Because this guy is a devil, he's a thief, he's a liar, and every other thing. Copeland, I know you're never ever going to see this video, but if you do, come up here. Big Jim wants to talk to you. You, man. Then we got this wonderful lady by the name of Joyce Meyer. Oh, man. Every time I see her, she looks like the Joker. The way her face is and everything. Yeah, I know her story. She's supposedly supposed to have been, intimidated or assaulted or whatever when she was a kid. Probably sexually molested or something like that. She looks like it. But she's another one that just fits the religion in how it fits her needs. And she lives in a multi-million-dollar house. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to tell you this. Why? Why do these people get to run around in $300,000 cars, $10 million homes, have $200 million in the bank and stuff like that, and yet you've got literally hundreds of thousands of people in America laying on the streets, dying homeless. But yet the government lets these people get away with what they're doing in the name of freedom of religion. These people need to be hung. If I had my way about it, I'd get them close to Jesus, all right. But I can't say too much because they'll either block. I'll be lucky if this video stays up or whatever have you, because I'm really not trying to threaten anybody. But these people really make me mad because they're taking advantage of people that to line their pockets that they don't need to be taken care of. Taking advantage of poor people. There's nothing that makes me madder than somebody that's taking advantage of somebody else. I'll slap iron, I'll do whatever, but in the blink of an eye in a deal like that. I've done it before and I'll do it again. I don't care how old I am. Okay, and we got another. I'm just going to go on from that Joyce Meyer. She's a fool, man. She looks like an idiot anyway. Then we got another hero from down in the south there, Jesse Duplantis. He's thick as thieves with that, Kenneth Copeland, he's another guy running around with a $30-40 million jet. These people don't need jets, lying bastards. They're just off in their little pedophile islands and doing whatever. Yeah, that's what they do. Man, that Jesse Duplantis, man, that dude, man, I don't like him either, but at least he doesn't scream too much at the altar. At the lecterns, where they give their sermons. But one of the very worst is that Kenneth Copeland. He's out of his mind. He is good fodder for some of the best psychiatrists on the face of this planet. That's what this fool is. And along with that, Jesse Duplantis, he's another candidate from the cracker house. Here's another good one, Cephalo Dollar. This fool here, if his Christian name was Dollar, we'll all put in with you. Cephalo Dollar. He's another one that's in it for just the money, doesn't care about your spiritual life at all. Doesn't care if you live or you die, just give him your money. That's the way all these prosperity preachers and these fake televangelists, that's the way they all do. Lying bastards anyway. Okay, here's another one. T.D. Jakes. Now, I haven't watched too much of his stuff, but I know he's on the take too. I got to be real careful there with these last couple people I did because I'll get accused of being a racist. Guess what? You can kiss my rear end. I don't care what color you are. I don't even care if you come from the moon. Pay attention to what I'm saying because what I am saying is correct. That's all there is to it because I'm not going to sit here in front of this camera and try to bilk you folks out of money. I've never asked for a dime in my life, so there you are. And that includes this YouTube shit. All right. Now here's another good one. Reverend Al Sharpton. Now this fool, I don't know if he's on the take so much, but he damn sure politically is. Why in the world does every time something happens, especially of a racial nature, here this clown shows up? The hell is this? He should have just got into politics to begin with. He ain't got nothing important I want to hear. A bunch of bullshit is what this is. He looks like a dried up old prune, He ought to give it up. Did you hear that, Al? It's over with, brother. Al Sharpton. Okay, here's another great fool. Here's another man with a lot of wisdom. This guy, I'd like to slap him asshole over tea kettle. Benny Hinn. That fool. This fool. This guy here has got a surefire place in hell if I ever seen it. I don't know who makes his clothes and does his hairdo and all that, but I'd like to bring him out here on the Montana range for a while. You understand what I mean? Man, when I get like this, I shouldn't even avoid subject like this, because you know what this stuff is doing to me? It's making me mad. Because these people aren't helping people. Right now in America, we don't need the spirit of people taking advantage of people. We need the spirit of people helping people. Can you dig it? Sure you can. Because I ain't sitting here lying about nothing. I don't want to gain anything. I just want to tell you that these people are on the take. They could care less if you live or you die. Every one of these heathens that I just named off. Benny Hinn. Kind of name is that? And then we got this crazy woman by the name of Paula White. I was watching one of her sermons here the other day, and she spent a grand total of at least 10 minutes at the lectern at the pulpit just doing nothing but screaming words over and over and over again. Sounded like she was doing rap or something. I don't even know what she was doing. I don't even think she knows what she was doing. Complete nonsense. And people pay money to these kind of people? That Paula White, guaranteed, is a psychologist. She belongs in a mental ward with big heavy bars on it, and she needs to be heavily sedated. I'm serious. I mean, don't these fools think that God has got ears? You know, all this yelling and hollering and all that stuff. These people, they no more believe in God and Jesus and all that stuff and the man in the moon. They're way off base. So my whole message here is if there's anybody out there struggling with this stuff, or you belong to any one of these organizations, just know that there's characters like me that are highly advising you to get gone, because these are not spiritual people. Do I believe in spirituality and stuff like that? You bet I do. But I don't go around spreading it all over the place. I've had a couple of spiritual things happen to me. Notice I didn't say religion, but I'm not here to talk about that, because even if I did tell the stories, everybody go, oh, that guy's been drinking here. It's some foolish thing. You know, there's just some things I don't need to be talking about. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I got my point across. These people are following their own form of gospel. They are not following the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's that frickin' simple. Okay, I want you to take care of yourselves. I know I preach you. Yeah, see, look at this. 21 minutes. Nobody will watch this video. I don't care. I really don't. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and we shall see you on down the trail, and, adios, my friends.